Hello, I'm Jash, and welcome back to Jash Reads, the series where I read a book cover to cover and discuss it chapter by chapter. Except today, we're changing it up a little bit, but because instead of reading a book, we're continuing to read my fic That Part, which is the first part of my By My Soul series, which is a, Skyrim and Remedy connected universe crossover. Danny! One more time. Let's see, should I make the KFC joke? No, I already did that today. One more time, and I'm going to put you away. And besides yelling at Danny and reading and discussing what's been read, hang on a sec. Okay, and honestly looking at Danny, because sometimes she does printing really good, and other times she's a total cunt. Okay, Danny. Okay. Come on. Step up, stay. There you go. Sorry about this, Shora. Just don't mind the controller. Now, besides the reading and discussing what's been read, there's also the Minecraft element where I build things. Okay. Okay, doop. And yeah. Right now, we're going to need make some safe spaces for Oh, sorry, kitty. I guess apparently we also need to put some torches in. Let's do that higher there. There used to be villagers here, but they died because they fell through some snow, so I need to fix that up. Oh, this one's actually surviving. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. No. I want it to blend into the snow. Now we need some stairs that are also nice and pale. Let's see. I'm finally watching more of, not Ghost Whisperer, Death Whisperer. I've gotten to watching this number 2, and I've been putting off continuing for around a week, and the whole movie's about one older brother looking for the ghost that killed his sister and getting vengeance. It's pretty neat. It's fun. I like nice little horror movies. They're my nice little peaceful spot to get away from the rest of the world. The rest of the world being absolute shit. So, I live in the US. The US is going through some problems, you could say, so having something that, helps me escape is really, really good and really necessary. It seems to be like a little bit of a drop. I think this works. It's like a little bit of a drop, but handle it. This is pretty good. Let's see. Not really, like, I'm in the final 30 minutes of the movie, so everything's coming to a head. It was really funny. So the one brother it seemed to be in the, oh no, he's moments and seconds away from death, and suddenly, nope, he's somehow alive. And even the villain's like, how the heck are you still alive? And I'm just thinking, yes. Exactly, how are you still alive? And then they explain it, but then this one dude who I thought was dead was alive, and he helped rescue the dude. Trying to make it so the snow doesn't continue to gather. Oh shit. Thought this would be able to... I guess not. least I did pale. But yeah, the guy that I thought was dead was, ta-da, he's alive. Don't know how the fuck that happened, but okay. Oh. Berry. Aw, we're having a lovely little fox party. Okay, let's hope the game doesn't crash like it did the other day. An iron golem. Actually. Okay, let's see how many. Oh, we've got the usual 12 minutes. Actually, let's. I gave you a path so you could easily follow it. Okay, it seems like regular golems have a little problem. Okay, I'm making sure I have the explosion thing turned off. Show days pass, fire spreads. Okay, TNT doesn't explode. Loot, natural regeneration, tiles drop. I say keep inventory mobs. Because I'm checking all that because snow golems can go after creepers. The problem is if you have the option for explosion turned on, everything else will explode too when they kill them. So we're going to eventually have a nice little path to here. Yeah, that's what we'll do later, is create a nice little path there, because right here is the little watchtower, which is the whole reason for this outpost. Graphics updates, I swear it's like... I can't see as far. Like before here, you could clearly see the mansion. Oh well. Anyways, let me get in a good position to actually start doing the dramatic reading, which is the whole point of this stupid thing. Okay, let's get a nice position here. Okay, I think this is good. We can see the villagers. Oh god. The wings look a little awful. They look too fucking bright. They look all off. This is the first time since the Minecraft graphics update that I actually use this avatar, so. Some of the other parts aren't too bad. Like, I don't mind the horns too much, but god damn those wings. I spent a lot of time figuring out which pair of wings I wanted, so you might be changing that later down the line. Not today. But anyway, let's get started reading the next chapter of that part by me, my Skyrim Remedy Connected Universe crossover. Now, a little bit of a heads up. If you already do not like fanfiction, this will probably not change your mind. Like, I did not write this fic with the intent to change people's mind about fanfiction. 2, this involves a semi-OC character and a canon character getting together. So if that ain't your jam, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next stream. Or, you know, just leave this on in the background. I need the views and, you know, yeah. But anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, and finally, this is written in first-person point of view. Now, to some people, that's not really an issue. For other people, they are highly, highly against first-person point of view, so yeah, if that isn't your jam, no. Nice seeing you and all. And thank you, villager, for standing in front of me. Yes, I'm actually doing... Thank you. Thank you, good sir. Whoa, that out of the way. Let's get started. That part... We're just going to see a bunch of villagers dying in the stream, aren't we? Oh, great. I gave pathways, and they're like, let's not do that. But anyways. If you don't like villagers dying, this ain't the stream for you then. Anyways, let's get started. That part, Chapter 10, A New Prince. No, I'm not going to rescue him because I'm going to be rescuing all you idiots and not being able to get anything else done. Stay on the path. Anyways, let's finally get started. I opened my eyes and screamed. Oh, wait, hang on. So this fic is told from multiple points of views. And this chapter's point of view is from Jash. He's a different character than me. Jash is honestly a name that keeps on being used every now and again, so... Yeah. Ways, let's get started. This chapter is told from Jash's point of view. Oh, we're having a great start. I opened my eyes and screamed. For a moment, I believed myself to have been taken to the wrong afterlife. Hercine's hunting grounds would never be civilized enough to have a bed and the sounds of a fireplace close by. So which Daedric prince's plane of oblivion was this? Then it dawned on me that this plane of oblivion looked very similar to Bloodchill Manor, my property that was located close to Frostflow Lighthouse. I hadn't died. Serena had rescued me. If I had only waited inside the lighthouse, I would have been courting death by the time she came by my... Oh, hang on. I can't read my own writing. Let's restart that paragraph. Then it dawned on me that this plane of oblivion looked very similar to Bloodchill Manor, my property that was located close to Frightflow. Let's start that again, because I don't know what Frightflow Lighthouse is, but it's nowhere in Skyrim, I'll tell you that. Whew. Third time. Third time's a charm, right? This is the worst I've done in a long time, shit. Then it dawned on me that this plane of oblivion looked very similar to Bloodchill Manor, my property that was located close to Frostflow Lighthouse. I hadn't died. Serena had rescued me. If I had only waited inside the lighthouse, I wouldn't have been courting death by the time she came by my side. I was alive! The thought terrified me. Scout's mini-martyrs had died, but I had survived. He was gone, and I was cursed to live without him. What state had Serena found us in? If she had been fighting the vampires, then it was possible Scout's body hadn't been able to be recovered, which meant he could never be placed in the ground and his soul would never find the Hist. Long ago, the Hist had covered nearly the entirety of Tamriel. While they were now physically limited to Argonia, their power still infused this land. So as long as the Saxhleel was buried on Tamriel, their soul could rejoin with the Hist. For the majority of my people, that was what they wanted to happen to their souls. Scouts! I yelled as if he could still hear me. I jumped out of bed and rushed through the manor. I rushed past the fireplace where there were 2 chairs. Chairs that Scouts and I had spent many a winter in. We had talked just to talk, and we would never be able to do so again. Scouts! I yelled as I ran down the stairs past the arcane enchanter. I ran through every room, every bit of memory burning a hole through my heart, looking for my husband's corpse. Where was he? Finally, my panicked body found itself near the entrance of the cave. Bloodchill Manor had once been owned by a vampire, and he had hid himself away in a cave far from the prying eyes of other men in Myr. Even if one knew where Bloodchill Manor was, they could still get lost, as the cave's small entrance hardly indicated the gigantic structure inside. I fell down beside the coffin that housed my love. Scouts! I cried as I looked at my husband, who seemed disturbingly at peace. That day on the docks, he had looked just as peaceful, though it had taken some time away from Windhelm for the hard edges of his personality to fade away. Even while a dock worker, though, Scouts had a kindness to him that was warmer than the weather. I reached one of my hands to caress his face, but stopped inches from him. My scales had always had a bloody appearance to them. So even as a hatchling, others knew that a life full of peace was never an option for me. Kaisnir, the name I had been given as a hatchling, even had the word blood in it. How though my scales were black? It was as if the night sky lost the stars and moons before landing on my scales. Serena had found me. She had turned me. But why, why hadn't my scales lightened? Why had my scales become black? I pulled out one of my feathers and sighed with relief. It was its usual pale white color. Yes, the ring of her scene was still on my finger. Jash! Serena yelled with a happy voice and a worried expression. Unlike me, she showed the usual signs of being a vampire. Pale skin and eyes that were far from mortal. Though many could mistake the obvious signs. I was a vampire, but my skin had become darker and a far different shade from my usual red. I watched as her lips moved, but my ears couldn't pick up any sound. I found that hiding behind anger instead of fear felt better. It calmed my mind, or at least it felt like it did. The truth didn't matter, as Scouts was dead, and my egg sister had parted my soul from her scene. What must he think of me now? Would he even bless me with his gift again? I wanted nothing more than to rush to Ayla and ask her to turn me once again. Now, somewhat calmed, I saw that as my anger increased, my scales changed from a solid black to a sickly green. Was it really due to my anger, or was this how my soul fell into Molik Ball's hands? Jash, Serena said, the only word I could hear from her. What the fuck did you do? I shouted and stood up. My massive 6'7" frame, something that helped tell me apart from others of my kind, looked down 7 inches at my egg sister. Apart from stepping back quickly, she remained still. She should be shivering deep in her cold soul for what she had done. She had been violated in the worst way possible and never thought to give me a choice. Scouts, many marshes, is dead, Serena, I hissed, baring my teeth without any fangs revealing themselves. Why do you think I care about this world anymore? If he is gone, there is nothing worth fighting for. With each word, with each flare of anger, the sickly green scales started outnumbering the black ones. It was ours to trust you when no one else did. I yelled in gel, the last of my black scales turning green. Back then, my strength was yours. I would have gladly met the hunt for you. Yet it is yours to betray me now? Suddenly I felt more pain than ever before. More pain than when I had nearly died. More pain than when the dark elves used their whips when I was a mere hatchling. It felt like my body, soul, and mind were being twisted apart by hands not divine. The cry that I hadn't uttered since taking the name Jash tore from my throat as I fell down. Serena tried to reach me before I reached the cave's floor, but I knocked her away. I didn't see where she went, and it wasn't ours to care. I cried out for Scout's many marshes and her scene before the pain became too great for me. Black fur sprouted out of my scales like mold. As my limbs stretched, the fur spread even further. My mouth grew vampire fangs as my skull seemed to melt into a werewolf's. Once my body became 8 feet. Vampire wings tore out of my back and sprayed the ground with blood. I tried to stand up but couldn't. The fading pain was still too great to do anything. The only thing I could think about was my new form. I was a hybrid but still looked like a werewolf. My large wings and fangs were the only vampire features given to this form. It gave me some comfort to know that my devotion to her scene was so great that I couldn't be turned into a vampire. Suddenly, I was far from Bloodshoal Manor and saw a plain of oblivion. There was a large mountain that towered higher than the throat of the world. Difficult to navigate paths existed so that one could spend an eternity reaching the summit. And the summit was a paradise of peace for all those that spent the effort. Though one could also venture down again if they so wished. Around the mountains were forests, vast but empty of all life. There someone could camp before venturing up to the summit of the mountain. I knew this place as I had seen it before. Not in this life, but in others. This was my plane of oblivion called the mountain. It was as wild, untamed, and balanced as I was. Daedric, Prince of Balance and Extremes. I breathed once there was no pain in my body and my mind had returned to Mundus. I'm a Daedric Prince now. Whenever I saw a shrine to Talos, I always paid my respects. To me, he wasn't just divine. He was a warning about where my path could go. Like my dragon cousins, the need to dominate and become the most powerful creature was in my blood. I wanted to remain immortal to help combat that desire. But now I was a Daedric Prince and had transcended mere mortality. Okay, hang on, I need to drink a little. I'm sorry, Egg Sister. I apologize as I wearily stood up while transforming back to Saxleal. You just wanted to save me. It was wrong of me to hurt you for just being a good friend. You were just supposed to be a vampire for a little while. Serena apologized as she went to my side. Then, once you were fully recovered, I would take you to Morthal to be cured. And you thought her scene would take me back? You are not only a devout follower of his, but the last Dragonborn. He'd be a fool to reject you. And that's it for that chapter. Somehow we made it through. Okay, hang on. Let me get all comfy. Let me get the pillow so I don't, just totally ruin my arms while gaming. Because I want to game, and so I sort of need my arms. So the original idea for Jash and this fic was that he'd be a hybrid, and I got the idea for a hybrid from the hybrid glitch in Skyrim. And what the hybrid glitch in Skyrim is that if you are a werewolf and cure yourself or somehow become a vampire, like, people will still react like you are a werewolf. So you'll be like full vampire, and guards will be like, "Is that fur growing in your from your ears, which, is what they say when you're, a werewolf, but it doesn't really make any sense when, you're not a werewolf. So yeah. So I was like, oh, he'll just, since I sort of have a thing for her scene, I was like, oh, he'll just be like this hybrid. Somehow he'll become a hybrid and ta-da. And I can't remember when I decided to change that to, oh, he's not a hybrid, he's the next Daedric Prince. Yeah, that change happened. Now, the reason he has green skin that becomes more green the angrier he gets is because when I was making the cover for the fic, at the time I was a vampire in Skyrim because I was getting all those sweet, sweet achievements. So I was like, oh shit, my cover has my character with little green scales. Oh no. That is really important. People will start asking questions, so I need to have an answer. Because that's how seriously I take my work. I think I'm going to put a bell here. Put them all together. Let's see. Let's see, I got the hybrid, I've got the skin color. So, Jash mentions that he has seen this plane of oblivion before, just, in a different life. And so I started to, sort of just question myself, like, why did I put it in there? Then I just decided, it's like, oh no, that doesn't make sense, because when he then know that he's, was going to become a Daedric Prince, but then, my sanity luckily returned. And I realized, hey, he does sometimes have memories of places he this isn't the first time that Jash has shown an ability to have memories of a place. You know, she hasn't been before because one of his abilities that, you know, I don't really, you know, usually talk about that often because it's honestly not an ability where it's very useful to the plot. It's sort of nice little world building, but really nothing more than that. But he is able to recall songs from Earth, and even as we learn more so in part 2, he's actually able to sort of learn languages that way too. So him having a memory of, you know, being a Daedric prince, it's like he knows that's not him. He knows that's some other version of him. So, you know, it's just like he won't be expecting to become a dry skin anytime soon. He's not going to expect to become a Daedric prince anytime soon either. Oh, I can do it on the side here. Oh shit. Storm seems to be starting outside here. So yeah. And now, since that's the only things I really wanted to discuss for this chapter. I realize. We should be getting to the links. Now before we do that, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, do everything so that the algorithm gives me a lot of attention because I am needy. And also, some of the links are Amazon Associate links, which means I get paid. buy every time, you purchase. So if you wanna, help me out, you like one of the links, buy it. Hey, do I hear something? Oh, see? Oh, that's where they are. Poor little creeper just getting pummeled. Oh, there's also another. Holy gosh. Oh, did not mean to hurt him. That was a sight. Okay, so I will check that out. I want to see where they go now. That's where we'll get to the links in a minute. Okay, they finally, at least one managed to get out. Okay. Okay, this is a little more amusing than I intended. A very dangerous outpost this is. Okay, we need to make a copy of this. Okay, after we do that, we will finally... Oh! Fuck! Yeah, after this new fucking graphics update, it's crashing a lot more. Like, I don't mind so much when Skyrim crashes because I'm used to that shit. The joke is, like, haha, that's just Bethesda being Bethesda. Lols. But anyways, let's get started on them links, shall we, folks? Anyways, actually, I have to make sure that all my hard works hasn't been erased. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, everything seems good. Everything's good. Okay. The first link is, of course... Oh, God, even I got confused. Okay, where's my birdie friend? Oh, there you are. There you are. So, anyways, the first link is, of course, to that part. So if you, want to read and experience my fic without my horrible voice acting, go ahead. Just beware the fic is a lot further along than the dramatic reading. Like, the fic is going to be 43 chapters, and currently there is only one chapter left, so. So I'm just working on the final chapter, so yeah. So if binge reading is your thing, you know, perfect to do that now, since, you know, only one chapter left. So in just a few days, you'll actually be getting the conclusion. So yay, OMG. See, the green markers show that I have, you know, locations there. Okay, now we will continue. I just gotta need a good direction. Where I could see a lot further before the new update. Anyways, let's just continue to walk and possibly find something. So the next link, see how many? God, it's a while. So the second link is to get your very own copy of Skyrim if you're one of the few that do not yet have the game. I play the game nightly. Nightly or daily. There's a lot to do, a lot to explore, and your race does affect gameplay. I like to play Argonians, who call themselves Saxleals. And what they get is a special healing ability inside and outside of combat. They also get the ability once a day to actually, you know, make it much harder to kill them. Like, their healing ability goes way, way up. And of course, the favored build of the game tends to be Stealth Archer, but I can't aim worth shit, so yeah. I'm trying to up my archery skill, but definitely not my main play style. And the next link is to Alan Wake 2. I'm now... I'm now nearly at the end of Alan Wake's portion of the game, and you can... What's that? Oh, go in the caves. Oh, the caves are so amazing. Okay. You can play through Alan Wake. Oh, yes, there are cherry trees there. And you can play through Alan Wake by switching between Saga Anderson and Alan Wake at certain points. But I decided just to get all of Alan Wake's chapters done. I like cherry biomes, by the way. That's why I'm super excited here. Okay, we're going to have to build something here. Yeah. Have to build something here now. Over here. A nice small little village here, yeah. Okay, so Alan Wake 2, I'm currently streaming the game, and I do plan to do New Game Plus, which does change a few things, including the ending. And honestly, that's my big reason for doing New Game Plus, because if you don't do New Game Plus, the game just ends on a cliffhanger from hell. I'm sorry. So yeah. And I did have a goal of playing all of the Remedy Connected Universe games, but Firebreak came out and it is a multiplayer. So that's something I honestly do not do, so Firebreak might be the only RCU game I don't play, but that's neither here or there because I was advertising Alan Wake 2. Let's see. Next link is to my Twitter account. I am Jashikins on Twitter. And if you wanna, chat day and night about the RCU or the Elder Scrolls series, please feel free to. Because I'm getting through Oblivion Remastered, so tips and tricks on that game would be much, much appreciated. But if you also have other nerdy interests, feel more than free to, because I love a lot of the nerdy stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. The next link will be to my Patreon, and I am a Jashikins on Patreon. Imagine that. I'm hilarious. And the Patreon, my Patreon helps support my dramatic readings, all of my streaming stuff, all of the odd things I am doing on my blog, and the books I'm releasing. So, yeah. And currently, there are 2 tiers. The first tier is $1 tier, and that'll give you access to view my Redbubble designs before I release them. And I am currently releasing some new Redbubble designs, which you would have already seen if you had the $1 tier. And for the $5 tier, you get to see my cover reveals before anyone else. And since the cover reveals also tend to be when I do my title reveals, you know. I'm just getting rid of all this snow, so close by the main house so that my villagers don't continually kill themselves. And since the cover reveals tend to be where I do my title reveals, you know, you get to get the title reveals before anyone else too, yay! And if you just donate, like anything, you get, you know, the first chapter of my latest Kafka's Men book before anyone else. And my latest, I'll talk more about Kafka's Men in a moment. Those aren't cherry blossom trees. And let's me make sure of the final link. Yep, it's to Kafka's Men. Kafka's Men is my original book series. It is a slow burning reverse harem. It is also dark romance. So if you like morally gray protagonists, if you like, yeah. If you like the girl ending up with more than one man, and if you like your slow burns going slower than a glacier melts, you will really, really have a good time. Currently, the 8th book in the series, Cornucopia, is up for pre-order, and that will be coming out July 4th. So, you know, even more of a reason to celebrate. And let's see. And I am currently working on the 9th book in the series, so I don't know when that's going to come out. I don't really like to, you know, set up an a time when the books are coming out until I put them up for pre-order because, you know, things sometimes happen. Oh, yeah. So that's it for the links. I'm going to continue destroying the snow, and then we are going to end the stream for the night. I mean, I obviously can't get rid of all this snow, but I would like to make it a little bit of a challenge for villagers to go and kill themselves via snow. So, yeah, besides watching Death Whisper, me and Brian are watching the 3rd season of Squid Games, which is really good. Really worried. And of course they end up a bunch of the episodes on cliffhangers. Like the latest game that we're watching is Jump Rope. But of course, this is Squid Game, so there's, you know, a catch, and the catch is you need to cross the bridge in a time limit, and the rope is giant, and if you let it hit, and if it hits you, you will go careening off to your death. So, yeah. And then the cliffhanger was, so the main guy and the new mother, you know, made a little deal like, okay, you're going to, I'll take your baby across and I'll come back for you. Only one little problem with that is that one guy decides, I'm going to play the game, and instead of focusing on the fact that people need to die, I'm going to focus on getting as much money as possible, so I'm going to cross over and start pushing everyone off. Just like, the games do change you, and the main guy's friend from season 1 had the idea of killing people. The thing was, it was cold, it was calculated. No, it was something done from necessity. This dude, on the other hand, seems to have gone mad with the life or death situation. And instead of killing others seeming very cool, very logical, but still obviously cruel, it was just something like he broke so much that he could not handle surviving. Okay, we cleared the snow, and I think next time we're going to be clearing some of this and working with elevation here, and then building. Also, I'm going to put down only one block to make certain of, you know, what I plan to do next time, because it'll probably be a few weeks till I get this again. Oh shit, why did I do that? Like, let me just toss it. Jash, what are you thinking? Okay, more than one block. little pink to sort of, go with the whole cherry blossoms. Okay. Take a nice little picture here. Yay! And so that will be it for today. Thank you everyone for watching, putting up with whatever my antics are. We found another cherry biome. I love cherry blossoms so much. They're so beautiful. I really need to get back to doing Shorm Grove again, because the main village there, Shorm Grove, is all surrounded by cherry blossoms, so I really want to, I need to find time to do everything I want to in the day. But anyways, thank you y'all for watching. I hope you had a good day. You continue to have a good time. And until next time, whenever that may be,